Welcome to the Live Bright Show, the pod for badass service-based entrepreneurs who are creating businesses and lives that are fun, successful, and free. And now your host, seven-figure business owner, coach, and founder of the Live Bright movement, here to help you own your potential, Moran.
Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. You're here with us. I've got Meaghan Likes with me. Meaghan is a small business accountant and consultant. She's a professional speaker. She's the founder of Bookkeeping Academy Online. She's the owner of Likes Accounting Company. She's a podcaster. She's got, I think, a couple other businesses that I have not yet listed in there that she'll probably tell us about. She's also a wife, a dog mom, a volunteer. She's a traveler. She's got it going on. And welcome to the show, Meaghan. I'm so psyched you're here with us today.
Oh, hi, Molly. I'm so happy to be here and I'm so happy to see you. And I've missed you. I had like this moment. Molly and I made friends in San Francisco a couple of years ago, and I kind of recreated part of that like meet greet recently with another friend. And I was like, where's Molly? I miss Molly. And then here she is on my calendar with all of you. So hi, Molly. Happy New Year.
Hi, Happy New Year. And I got to get back to San Francisco and we got to go out for some Chinese food and do some other things again. That would be amazing. It's one of my most favorite cities. Welcome, Meaghan. Let's start out with like a fun question, if you don't mind. I'd love to know, and I'm just going to get right into it because that's kind of how I do things. But what is the most fun you've had in your business in the last year, or one of your businesses? And we're going to get into your businesses, but talk to us about fun.
Oh, the most fun I've had in my business in the past year. Okay, so we're in a really weird phase so I have a window cleaning company, and I've been running the window cleaning company for the past 2-ish years. I started it over 17 years ago with my husband, Jeff. It's called Jeff Likes Clean Windows. And Meaghan has been learning to like clean windows over the past 2 years as I've been running it. We brought in a business partner, a longtime GM, a little over a year ago. His name's Bryce. And we got our very first shop. So we've been running mean and lean up to the 7-figure mark, working out of a boat storage yard with like gravel on the ground and a tough shed. And we always joke, like when we talk about like a toolbox talk, we're talking about literally in the back of a truck, there's a TV screen, and then we have camp chairs around it. And we've been doing it like mean and lean. And we, on January 2nd, showed to our team our new shop. So we have a brand new, beautiful shop that we've been working on and remodeling for a long time now. And it was the most fun day I've had in that window cleaning company, maybe ever, was having these guys who have been like in the okay, I live in California, so freezing cold is relative. But for us, freezing cold every morning. And, I have mostly like young 19-year-old kids. And these guys come running through, like literally running, buzzing through this shop. And they're like, there's a bathroom. There's heat. There's water. There's coffee. There's a table. There's a couch. Can I nap on that couch? And they're like hanging out over these like probably Maslow hierarchy of needs, like these basic essentials of like having a place to work. And it was so fun for me because I sometimes, I'm just too cheap. I'm just cheap in spite of being cheap. And it felt great. We got them an ice machine and they're like, oh my God, we can get ice here. And we're getting a vending machine with their favorite like drinks. And so I'm really loving, I've always said the window cleaning company is my favorite of all my businesses, but right now there were technicians I've never met. Like I've never worked in the window cleaning company. I've never worked with the window cleaners. I've always sat in what I call my like ivory tower of my air conditioned fancy office where I like make decisions and do spreadsheets and, execute leadership. But yeah, it was just like a really fun day. And if you can picture that and visualize it, like these like young, hyped up 19-year-olds, like, and then at the end of the day, I happened to be there. Like I've never been there for beginning of day except for like open enrollment. That's like my job, boring. And I've never been there at the end of the day unless it's like a total accident. And Mauricio's been with us like 2 months and he's like, I want to go in again and just see. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's yours. Like, come in. Like you have a code, like make yourself at home. He's like, I just want to see. And so I'm really excited for that. And it was a really, really fun moment. Like one of those, like, I don't know, a grown-up moment, I guess.
Total grown-up moment. I love that. Congratulations. Jeff Likes Clean Windows business. That's amazing. We recently moved offices and I've always had an office for as long as I've had my cleaning company. And it's been in houses. It's been in various places, but we moved in the last year too, and it's like a grown-up office. I'm like, oh, we're an adult. Like we have a warehouse, we have a this, we have a that, and there is something to be said on the employee sort of happiness and the employee happiness side to have an actual physical space that feels really good to them that they can be proud of and where you're taking care of them in that sense. So, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, totally a pride of ownership. Like I think they've been proud of working for us and working with us but like yeah, it just like we put the vinyl on the wall and they're like, that's our name, like that's us. Like, like
Yeah.
I did a brag wall. They've never had it for 17 years. We've never had a wall to hang things on. So all the awards and like we won all these awards and I'm like, hell yeah, you guys did. Like we're a
Yeah.
badass world-renowned company and they didn't even really know. I mean, they knew, but they didn't know. So yeah, it's been
Right. Oh,
so.
I love that. That's such a fun. Hey, what a great way to start the year. That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, my
So,
husband's birthday is January 31st, and they all sang him happy birthday. And they're like standing on gravel, like bundled up, like happy, like they're singing like a really nice happy birthday song. But they're freezing their asses off. I mean, it was just like, sorry for the freeze. They're cold and miserable, kind of. And then it's like 2 days later, they got the first off, and the second is like, oh, brand new game, whole new day. So yeah, it's gonna be a good year.
that,
I can feel it.
oh yeah, I know. I'm feeling that too. I have so many questions on that. Like, well, but anyway, but I'm going to start with you. You do own several businesses. So give us a quick overview of what you've got your hands in. That would be amazing.
Oh, it's a lot. So currently actively involved in 9 different ventures. I think of what I've learned over the past 2 years is I've been letting go of things. I've exited a couple of partnerships. I've started a couple of things. I've been working towards my great work. Like who is Meaghan Likes and what is her gift going to be the world when she leaves? And like how can I most effectively do that? And lately it's been really leaning on strong partnerships. So finding really strong partners or operators and like, I always say I have enough confidence for the two of us, so you can borrow some of mine. So like
Yeah.
helping them like have the courage or the confidence to either start or continue or grow. Primary two businesses that keep me out of trouble are the window cleaning company and my accounting company. Huge growth in both of those businesses, a partner in both of those businesses now. We just did another acquisition with the accounting company at towards the end of last year, and so that's been really, really good. I love that. And then yeah, just dabbling in a little bit of everything. I've got a nonprofit, I have a software company, I have a software integration company, a consulting company, 2 different types of training companies, um, landscape lighting company. Like we just
Jeez.
a little bit of we got our hands in a couple of things. So, but yeah, it's good. I feel I'm working less than I've ever worked before. And the book, Great Work, was a huge game changer for me. I read it last summer and I just spent the second half of 2024 just shedding the stuff that wasn't serving me and getting laser focused on like, how do I want to spend my time? Like, what do I want my gift to be? What is my great work? Like, what is my purpose? We all read, what
Yes.
like put on this
Yes.
planet to do. So yeah.
So have you determined what your purpose is and what your great work is?
Oh, well, so I did my why discovery with a mutual friend of ours, Erin Larison. She
Mhm.
does these amazing why discoveries, kind of using the framework of Simon Sinek's start with why, follow up,
Mhm.
find your why. And so I did my why discovery. I feel like it was first quarter of 2024. And I feel like my personal why, Meaghan Likes, last time I did my why discovery was maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and it was very much centered around likes accounting, like the business why. But my personal why is to thoughtfully create opportunities so that we can confidently realize our full potential. So I'm 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 a connector. Like I love to connect people and I love to just help them see like, oh, I can do the thing. And then if they need
Mhm.
a little bit of whatever, if they need capital, if they need accountability, if they need whatever they need to go do the thing, like I love that part of me. And then in terms of purpose, I'm not like I don't have that one liner yet. I'm not fully articulating, but my accounting career has really shifted over the past 2 years into data visualization. So this idea of helping a business owner see the story that their numbers are trying to tell them without them shutting down, like without them having to look at a spreadsheet or like have this like self-talk that they're bad at math or they're not good at numbers or they're not smart enough or whatever it is that they tell themselves about like accounting and about money, like cutting through all that bullshit and giving them like just the little tee up, which is usually like a little bar chart of like, hey, we're this close to goal, or hey, we're doing this much better than we did before, or hey, here's an area that we should focus our attention on and work on. So that looks like the software company, and then a whole bunch of cool dashboards, and then really getting clear at Likes Accounting about like, what is it that we offer? It's not bookkeeping. Like to me, it's
Right.
like it's accountability and like how do you it's I built an accounting firm for tax accountants and then an accounting firm for bookkeepers and now an accounting firm for like CFOs really. I mean, that's what we're doing now is really helping like align a client's goal with like hitting it. And we're getting really good at it. So financial transformations, I think is what we're doing these days. So that's what we're selling, financial transformation.
That's with one of your businesses. That's amazing.
That's one of them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Although that probably happens in some of your other ones too. How do you, I mean, I think often the more successful you become, the more well-known you become. And you're very well-known in our industry and also in other industries, certainly in the accounting, like with your QuickBooks, you're like the face of QuickBooks Online. I swear I've seen you out everywhere. How do you navigate all the opportunities that are probably coming your way? I
Oh,
mean, you've got your hands and you've got like 10 fingers and 9 of them are in things right now, right? At least. And so how do you, I'm sure you have lots of opportunity regularly coming your way. So what framework do you use to decide whether to move forward or not?
yeah. So not well is the honest answer. Very messily and with a lot of mistakes. And if you are like Molly and I were on what was our panel called? It was something really cool. What was it? It was like, I think it was pure empowerment or something.
Oh
I think
yeah, peer empowerment in the cleaning and cocktails event. Peer empowerment and something.
something. It
Yes.
was like one
Yeah.
of the strangest panels I've ever been on, but it was wonderful. But Molly and I like had not met. And Ricky Regalado, love him to death, but he thought we were like besties. And so then Molly and I were like, well, we better figure out how to become besties over the next 48 hours before we get on that stage. And I'll be damned, but we did it. Like we absolutely did it. And we had this great open discussion. I think there were 5 or 6 of us really, really successful and like driven entrepreneurs sharing a stage and sharing a mic, sharing 2 mics. It was
Yeah,
a
not enough mics, not enough mics, that's for sure.
it was a really entertaining panel. And if you're in my like inner circle, you would say that I'm a disaster at it. Like there's never enough of me and there's never enough time and like it's just so hard to balance. And I think that that's part of the beauty of it though, right? Like I throw a lot of spaghetti at the wall. Like a lot of spaghetti at the wall. And some of it sticks and some of it doesn't. And my friends that are close to me always say, like, Meaghan, you're constantly burning shit down. And I'm like, yeah, like I'm unafraid if it's not serving me, then I'll just make a new decision. And so that's kind of how I've been doing it. In terms of like an impact filter, if you have one and you're listening to this, please find me and shake me and teach me your ways because I am craving some sort of like matrix to make a decision about like, does it serve my family? Does it serve my great work? Does it serve the people that count on me, like the lives that I'm supporting? Does it serve, like, how do I figure out the yeses? I'm not there yet. But the book Great Work was really helpful, super helpful. There's like an entire chapter just on the no's. And I had read like essentialism, I had read the one thing.
Right.
I mean, I've read like a lot of books about prioritization or time management. And now I think your question is like, it's just been more like, well, what am I supposed to be doing? Right?
So thanks for your vulnerability there for sure. Like, I mean, because I love that you went there because it is really hard to know what to say yes to and what to say no to. And obviously you're pretty fearless. And like you said, you've got enough confidence for like 2 people at least. And so you're like, okay, that didn't work. Cool. Moving on. It doesn't seem like it ruffles you that much. Is that accurate?
Yeah, totally. I
Yeah.
think we make a lot of mistakes, you get less afraid of the mistakes. Like we
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
that way in our travel, we feel that way in our money, we feel that way in our marriage. Like we've done a lot of things wrong, like a
Yeah.
lot, like and a
If you're
lot.
if you're living, you are, I mean, if you're living fully, then you probably are. You're going to do a lot of things wrong. And it's about like what comes out of that, right?
Yeah, and we've done a lot of things bad, and we've been through a lot of bad shit, and like there is a little bit of confidence that comes from that. Like, well, what else
Yeah.
could go? Like, I mean, I'm
Right.
like
Right.
I was an unhealthy person, and I like had my health threatened very early in life, which I think has left me like in this like urgent state of like I just don't care. Like that is the small stuff that I'm not worried about. And we can go into that a little bit, but there's this idea that like I know that I'm safe. I know that I'm loved, and I know that I can figure shit out. And like after that, it's just details,
Yeah.
right? It's
It
just
is. It
and
is.
you can overcompensate. Like I have done it the wrong way where like, okay, now that I know all those things, like I will end up down rabbit holes that I should not be down. I will end up like on trips that I should not be on. I'll end up in rooms that I should not be in. And then I just acknowledge that. I recognize it and then I try to do better the next time, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, well, that didn't
I,
serve. Let's not
I
do that.
love that. Let's not do that again. I love that. May I offer you just one thing that's I have found helpful
Let's do
for
it. Please.
because I've had several, I've said no a lot more than I've said yes in the last year and a half or so, or 2 years. And the filter that I've used is like, well, let me back up. Life is really freaking short. Like, you know that, I know that. And when certain things happen in your life, like you really get that sense more and more. And so once you get to a relatively, like a safe place, secure place financially, and you're making decisions from a different place, like, and how to make those decisions, how to say yes. My filter is like joy. Like,
Mm,
is this going to make me happy? Is working with this person doing this thing going to make me happy? And it's like, yeah, it could increase my net worth, but like, that doesn't sound like super fun. Like opening a call center to do X, Y, and Z. Like that doesn't like it could be really awesome, but like not for me. I don't want to spend my time doing that. And so that's been an interesting filter that that has worked for me. I don't know if that I'll just throw that out there. Like you're drilling in on your purpose and you're drilling in on some of those things, but then like you're always going to have so many opportunities, somebody like you. So that's a filter that's helped me. Anyway, tossing it out there.
it feels very Marie Kondo. Like, does it bring me joy? You know,
I know, right? I just
and, like if you've met Molly and me, like there's a whole bunch that brings us joy, right? Like I'm a
right,
relatively joyful person, so I'm like, okay, maybe
right.
like we accidentally overcompensated last year where we went from like a shit ton of work travel to like a whole bunch of personal travel. And I was like, okay, actually too far the other way, Megan. Like we had to go on
Same.
an extreme personal budget because I had booked like $50,000 of flights in like less than like 3 weeks. I was like, "Jesus, Megan, this is not actually it's really expensive if you're paying for your own travel instead of people paying you to travel." Like that, yeah, that was like a fun little life lesson for me. I love this criteria of does it bring you joy? I have a mentor here locally, and she always says, "Don't do it if it's not fun. Like if you're not
Right,
having
fun.
what the
Right,
heck, don't do it." And then for me, the thing I'm still craving is that impact, right? Like, is it a personal impact? Is it a public impact? Like, but having that idea of like, okay, yes, yes, absolutely, should bring me joy, should be
right.
fun, have fun doing.
Fun, joy. Yeah, interchangeable.
And then is am like am I the right person? And like that's a hard question around imposter syndrome. I've said yes to things like out of responsibility or guilt or whatever and then realize later like I am not the right person for this. Like this is not my gift to the world and yeah, I'm relatively capable and yes, it's better than most or slightly above average, but like this is not my hell yes. So
Yeah.
got that new like how do I get to the hell yes, like this is the thing that I should get up and do today. So but first I had to
Oof.
create space and I've committed. Oh, I was gonna say the other thing is a coach. Like you need a good coach. You need someone to call
Yeah.
you on your shit. You need someone who sees you for you, who like loves you and like values you and like gets you. You need a great coach. I'm working with a new coach these days, and I've probably on my third personal, maybe fourth personal coach in the past couple of years. And yeah, like I think a great coach so that you can just verbalize that, like, oops, or I went down this rabbit hole, or like I went down
Right.
this rabbit hole. So I would
Yeah.
absolutely say like, and probably a therapist, like those two things
All right.
for me, like
Right.
a great therapist, a great coach, and then like a lot of introspection, like who am
Yeah.
I? What
Yeah.
actually, am I actually joyful or not? I learned a lot from my husband because he does not care what the world thinks, and I still struggle with that quite a bit. And he's like, I just don't understand. Are we going down this road again? Like, who freaking cares? And I'm like, you're right. Who cares?
Oh, that's great. You've got a good balance there.
Mhm.
I want to ask you a question that I think a lot of people have around coaching. You said you've had 3 or 4 in the last couple of years, and I completely agree. Obviously, having a good coach is key. I have a great coach. I am a coach. Like I definitely believe in it. And I don't coach everyone who comes my way because you want to have the right fit. And so I always want to explore that with people. How have you left those? That's like quite a few different personal coaching relationships you've had in the last couple of years. How have you known when it's time for you to move on um, and
It's
exit?
it's really hard. So when I start ignoring a coach, that's usually a good time to leave.
That's a good time. Yeah.
Like you need to get real with them and with you. Like, why am I not like I also am the same. I am a coach and I am always coached. And like it is the most intimate relationship that I know. More intimate than my marriage, more intimate than my therapist. Like it is intimate to have this coaching relationship, and it requires a shit ton of mutual respect and trust.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the
Mhm.
minute you start ignoring that person that hopefully you're paying a lot of money to, like I pay a lot of money
Mhm.
for coaching, like the minute you start ignoring them is probably the minute that the magic is lost and it's time to go find some new magic. Now, I don't say like sabotage the relationship. I think like you need to be this latest thing I'm going down is super communicating. So like you need to be able to like have a really good, intense, like loving relationship with that person about like maybe why you didn't do the thing that you said you were going to do. Like, is it a you thing? Is it a them thing? Is it an us thing? But there's like this chemistry in coaching. So usually that's it. Occasionally so I've made the mistake of hiring a coach once. So my favorite coach that I was like super dependent on, like could not make a decision without, I ended up hiring him full time to come work for me. It was a terrible idea. It ruined the entire relationship.
Mm.
Still love him, still friends with him, but like it's not the same. Like a coach doesn't work for you. Like you can't shift that
No,
dynamic.
no.
Like in my head, I
Right.
thought like this would be great. Like I could share it with everybody. And then I was like, wait, I lost my person. Like what happened?
Right.
Um, I've outgrown a coach. Like I got a great quote and I'm gonna find it here. Because I when I coach, I sometimes have to I call it graduating. I sometimes have to graduate them because they've started to ignore me or the magic's been lost and we've tried to recover it. And like that's okay. There's no judgment there. So I will find this quote for you real quick. But yeah, so I've outgrown coaches, I've hired coaches and like ruined it. I've been graduated, like maybe that coach needed to go on to their next thing and I just wasn't in their future plan, and that's okay.
Mhm.
Um yeah, but I would say a really good tell if you're being really honest with yourself. So when you start to ignore them,
Mm.
that's a symptom. Something's up there.
Yep. Yep. That's all. That's great. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Because on the internets and the social media worlds, like there's just so many people are asking so many questions about coaching. So, and how to know what a good program or good coach and when to leave. And I've certainly left. I've left a couple coaches as well, and I would say it's around some similar stuff. Like it's just like, okay, I've learned what I can here, and it's not personal. It could feel personal. It's not personal, but here I go. I'm moving forward, right? So thanks for sharing that.
I think my problem is I can learn from anyone. And so like I will keep going down a road for a long time. So I'm trying to get better about that feeling of like, why am I feeling this?
Yeah. Hey, friend, a quick break to ask you to please go to livebrightshow.com to be added to my email list. Here's the thing. I hate email, so I pretty much guarantee you're not going to receive anything excessive. Only important things like when I have new options in my coaching program, offer free challenges, new courses, release a new pod, or perhaps an occasional biz life tip. That's livebrightshow.com. Now back to the pod.
So here's the
Yeah.
quote, Gary V quote. Now this is very much designed towards a financial coach, but I'm gonna try to take out that word. So that's the context that he said it. I'm gonna take out that word, and see if it still works. But having a partner who can enable my ideas and support their success by channeling good information is oxygen to my entrepreneurial bloodline. I can't survive without it. And I feel like that to me is the most magical coaching relationship is they need to enable my ideas. They need to leave me a safe space to just like word vomit all the things in my head and support their success. Like they have to believe in me and they have to believe in them, but then they have to also bring me back to earth. Like call me on my shit, help me filter them, help me prioritize them, help me let some of them go. But I need somebody, I need a champion. Like I don't need a yes woman. I don't need a cheerleader, but I need somebody that genuinely believes that whatever crazy shit I come up with next week, like I could actually do, and then help me figure out that I shouldn't, right? Like help me
Right.
get,
Yeah.
yeah, Meaghan, you're good, but should we? And maybe
Right.
why or why not?
Right. Right. Thanks. That's great. I can't wait to go back and re-listen to this actually and write that quote down for myself. It's very
I'll text
it's
you.
okay. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Like I realized I had a coaching relationship that I probably need to graduate because I was like, you know what? I'm telling her no a lot lately.
mhm,
That means we're not aligned. And like that's not my job.
mhm.
My job should be
Right.
like, hell yes, but right. And
Right.
lately, there's been a lot more no's coming from my coach's mouth.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I always think I'm always when I'm looking at coaches typically, I mean, and so one thing I would offer to listeners is, are they living a life that I think is freaking awesome and that I am working towards and it could be from a fitness depending on the coach and the relationship like but are they healthy? Are they thriving? Or are they working 100 hours? Because if they're working 100 hours, they're not the person for me because that's not the life that I want, right? I want to work less than that. Is their work and their output and is it aligned with kind of my values? And are they ahead of me in the path? Obviously, I want them to be ahead of me in the path of wherever it is I'm going. Um,
I think it depends too. Like, I don't know if my current coach is ahead of me. Um, but that's not as important in this existing relationship of great work and like getting through my great work. It like some part of that is being okay with where I am. Like I've had a lot of those moments lately, but
right,
in terms of lifestyle, 1,000% agree. Like I I um I can't have somebody in my world that doesn't respect marriage or my marriage, right? I can't have somebody in my
right,
world that doesn't like respect their body and their own personal health. I can't have
right,
somebody in my world that doesn't like value relationships or community or like giving back. Like there are some core principles of like who I am that I can't take advice from somebody who doesn't at least like value those same core
mhm,
values. And I
mhm.
think that takes you being really clear about like what are my core values? Like what are my like won't compromises? Um
Right.
yeah, I think we're saying the same thing there and
We
just
are. We are.
self-discovery first and like careful who you idolize. Like are they drinking themselves silly? Are they
Right.
cheating? Are they, cutting corners? Are they skipping the gym? Like, are they not living in the
Right.
moment? Like, are they maybe one thing online and one thing at home? Like, and it's hard to know, but I think really questioning what we see is important. And then remembering, like, yeah, maybe it isn't worth those sacrifices. I had a
Right.
mentor once, and I actually chose him because he had some of those things that I didn't want and I wanted
Mm.
him so I wouldn't go there.
Really interesting. How long did you have him as a mentor?
He's actually still kind of my mentor here locally. Um, but he had figured out a lot of really cool stuff, and then I learned a lot. Like I learned a
Yeah.
ton.
Hmm.
But our
Mm.
core values were the same. Like our core principles were the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I hadn't thought about going at it that way. That's very interesting. But I mean, what you're talking about is being super intentional, right? You're being like, you're enter into those decisions. And that's what I would always say to somebody is like, you want to be really intentional with how you're entering into this. Because it can be a very intense relationship and it can be incredibly expansive in growth and whatever, but be intentional with how you get into it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And eyes wide open and like no victim mentality here. Like you're
Oh,
making
yeah.
you're making a
Yeah,
choice.
totally.
You're choosing that relationship, you're choosing that working relationship, and you can choose to not be in that relationship, just like anything. So just
Right.
owning the power of choice, right?
Totally. Yes, 100%. 100%. I'd love to pivot slightly and talk to you a little bit about your leadership. Because you kind of started there that you used to have sort of this ivory tower. I'm going to be here with my spreadsheets, working in my air conditioning, and the window guys can have their trucks and whatever. Like, how have you? And now it's shifted, obviously. And as we grow as people, our leadership can also change if we're open to it and smart about it. How has your leadership evolved as you've grown, and as you sort of expanded your portfolio of businesses?
Hmm. I haven't thought about it at all. That's a really interesting question. So I believe that leadership's a skill, and it's a skill that can be taught, it's a skill that can be learned, and it's a skill that will constantly be developed or should be developed if this is important for you. I've also learned that it's probably my most important skill to success. Like it is the thing, if I worked on nothing else, like leadership is the thing that will get me to wherever I need to be in whatever situation I want to be in. So I've done a ton of leadership development personally. Um, and it is evolving. I as my like as my calendar has evolved, as my like number of businesses has evolved, I have the same number of hours in a day as everybody else, and I'm trying to spread it across like 9 companies, right? Not really sustainable. So how can I influence those cultures without like burning myself out is like a constant struggle for me. How can I show up for my teams without losing myself, right? How can I leverage that? And so for me, we kind of shifted the focus. Of course, we should be building leaders, right? We should be generating leaders. Um, and we've actually taken that down a couple of rungs in each of my organizations. So like it started with me being a strong CEO and then surrounding myself with a strong leadership team. Now I have different philosophies on that. I feel like it's a skill that can be developed for a person that wants to develop it. We actually woke up this morning at 6:30 a.m. to our partner in the window cleaning business, like completely on fire because he had a transformative week last week and he just needed to process it before he talked to the team. And I hung up the phone and I looked at my husband and I was like, his leadership style has completely shifted. Like him showing up as a leader is completely different than it was a week ago, right? Like sometimes it can be very transformative
Yeah. Yeah.
in years, right? And then my leadership style has to adjust. So probably favorite program I've been through is like a situational leadership program. It took about a year and I had a really good reminder last week that like, you lead where the person is, right? That's situational leadership. So like the reminder for me is especially in the window cleaning partnership, especially in that relationship, like just because him as a person was here, like he's been with the company 7 years and there's all of that, doesn't mean that that task is in the same place. So situational leadership is very much to the task, not to the role. And I'd say that that's been my biggest takeaway with leadership is identifying like future leaders in a company and then developing them, having conversations with them. We just identified in the window cleaning company 2 people that have been with us less than 6 months that we are developing into leadership positions up in the C-suite. But that took like consent, that took interest, that's going to take time. It's also, they're going to pass up like 3 rungs of leaders above them because we can see them shining that bright, right? From all the way
Wow.
down to the technician level, like we can see a
Right.
path for them. And so, yeah, identifying talent, leadership talent, and then developing it, and then not burning ourselves out. So the way I've structured that is there's always a leadership team. And now I spent 2 years with a leadership development coach in my organizations, helping develop that next rung down, which is like managers or your lead techs or like the middle management that always gets ignored. Like, hey, you were a great technician out in the field, so now you're going to be a lead technician, or like now you're going to be a field supervisor, and like we're going to give you a small pay rate, and then it's called the Peter principle. We're basically going to set you up to fail. Like we're going to promote you to the highest level of incompetence. And you can't grow like that. And you can't leave like that. Like I can leave any of my companies. I leave every single company for at least 4 consecutive weeks every year. Last week I was gone 40 weeks and I left for 2 different months for the entire month. The month of December, I was gone and I didn't talk to a single person in any of my companies for an entire month. And no one died. Everything was fine. Right?
I'm clapping my hands for you right now. That is freaking amazing. That's awesome.
But it doesn't work if I am the lead. Like it only works if I surround myself with badass leaders who are identifying future leaders and we have an entire culture of developing leadership. Right? Like, yes, I need doers. Yes, I need technicians, but like more importantly, I need middle managers who feel empowered and seen and excited to come build this thing with us.
Right. So you went through 2 years of leadership development, like training and implementation in your companies. Is that what you just to kind of get this structured properly?
Like weekly. I mean, really intense.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'd done, many, like the situational leadership was like 7 years ago. That was an entire year.
Right.
It's something I will never say I've mastered and I will constantly be working on. But the really where things really shifted for me was I had to become the leader they deserved. And I'm still working on it every single freaking day. I have to show up for them in the way that they need me to show up for them without burning out. I have to identify them, develop them. But that's where most people, I think, stop. Like you have to get them to start building leaders. So I built the leaders that I needed around me, and then I've help those leaders build the leaders that they need around them.
It's like 3 layers deep or something. Yeah, that's
3 layers deep. And imagine if I was a $1 billion company, like I'd need like 40 layers deep or whatever. But like for now, in my existing org structures, like that's the difference.
I love that. Thank you. I learned something. I've learned several things, but that's definitely a massive takeaway for me. And that's probably, I would say, one of the biggest challenges for a lot of small business owners. And certainly in our industry, in the service industry, like with my cleaning company, that is definitely a challenge. And it's investing. It's investing in that next layer so that you aren't the go-to. And that's pretty powerful. Thanks, Meaghan, for sharing that. I love that. And how do you? Oh, go ahead.
It's identity too, though. We just spent the week doing our strategic planning with other cleaning business owners, and I was helping one of the ones in my accountability group, and like we realized that he's probably a better businessman and a better leader than I am, but he doesn't have anything else to do. And I think one of my gifts is I'm so freaking busy, like for better or worse, that like there's always other things for me to do, right? Like every person that gets hired knows that they'll never have enough Meaghan time as they want. And the second they start like resenting that or dreading that is the second that we like lose the relationship, right? Like you got to just, I'm going to invest in you, you're going to invest in me, and we're going to do this thing together. And it's going to be it's going to be consensual and it's going to be great. But like, you can't ask for more Meaghan time. Like it just there's no more Meaghan time there, right?
Right.
And so we realized with this colleague that we were helping that like he just needed bigger problems. He just needed like a bigger why. Like his team was good, but he needed something else to go do. And so I think that is one of the helpful things is I have plenty of other things to go do.
Right.
Good. I can do the thing.
Right. I mean, and sometimes, I mean, it's interesting because I've noticed that as well. Like the busier I've gotten, it's like, okay, yeah, you're going to, like, I'm not going to micromanage that. Go ahead and do it because actually I don't have time to do it. And I've given you the skills. I trust you. You're empowered, whatever. And that's when more shit gets done. Right. And I mean, it's not perfect. I mean, and I think any leader like worth their weight in salt or whatever is going to say I'm continuing to grow every single day. And like a big part of leadership for me, of course, is the more self-development I do, the more time I spend on expanding and surrounding myself with not always new ideas, but new people and reinforcing certain ideas, the better leader I become. Anyway, so thanks for sharing that. I want to ask you, God, Meaghan, I could talk to you all day. We're getting close to our hour here, but I want to ask you one thing because you've alluded to it a few times, which is there's only so much time in the day. You still have the same number of hours. You're not going to get more Meaghan time, and you have to do this to avoid X to avoid burnout or whatever. So, what are you doing to take care of yourself as this badass, entrepreneur with her finger in all kinds of pots? Like, how are you maintaining yourself to avoid burnout?
Wow. Well, I don't know. It depends on the day, right? Like some days I feel pretty close to burnout. And some days I feel like, huh. The other day I was looking at my to-do list and it had like three very simple things on it. It was like go to the bank, go to the post office, and answer one email. And I like it was so unnerving for me because I was like, that is not enough. I had this compulsion to like write more things down so I could cross them off, or like there was 100 things. But like that was truly like by the time I got through my meeting with my EA in the morning, like that was what I needed to do that day. And I was like, huh, okay, so I'm not gonna find value in work today. So I need to like so I got it. This is new. One of my goals this year is to increase my step count, and it's such a logistical hard thing. So I'm testing two things right now to be able to measure my step count because I'm an accountant and I love counting things. Um, and like I'm like, well, I walk 10,000 steps. That might be a goal every day this year that I just write down so that I can cross it off because that is like an important thing for me maintaining myself. So I'll walk through just briefly. I do not have all the answers, and I go through many cycles of insanity,
Sure. Yeah.
but a couple of core things that keep me super grounded. And as I mentioned, I traveled 40 weeks last year. So if it works for me home, it needs to work for me away. And like these are things that like need to work. So I work out with a personal trainer twice a week every week. So on FaceTime or in the home gym or like in an accountability group, but like twice a week, every week, I am doing some sort of formal workout to move my body and just kind of keep me grounded and healthy. I eat clean, so I love fruits and vegetables. I'm from California, so I really just prioritize eating fresh fruit and fresh vegetables on a regular basis. Molly has seen me get down on dessert. I love to drink, like I love those things, but I eat clean, I'd say like 90% of the time, whether I'm away or I'm home. That's just part of who I am as a human because it makes me feel better.
Mhm.
Um, I meditate every single day, sometimes twice a day, sometimes 10 times a day. I can make a
Mhm.
meditation out of just about anything, including like, just going outside and breathing
Mhm.
breaths. That is a meditation. And sometimes that's
Mhm.
all it takes is like getting some sunshine and getting some air in your brain. Um, I have a pretty good nighttime routine that involves stretching and reading a paper book. So I like turn off the phone. Every day I pull out a paper book and that's how I wind down to go to sleep. Sometimes I read a page, sometimes I read 50 pages, sometimes I read a sentence. But every
Mhm.
night like there's that routine of like the day is done, the time has come,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Mhm.
Um, and let's see, I go to the garden. I have a garden, a really large garden, and I find that when I'm traveling, especially like on a long trip, if I've been away from dirt, which sounds crazy, but dirt for
I get it.
more than 2 weeks, ideally once a week, like the garden is super centering for me. And we could dive into that a little bit, but basically there's no cell service at the garden. I'm not on my phone, I'm not on a computer. I'm just fully present and I'm with my thoughts. Um, and then my partner, Jeff, like we have intentional time every single day with one another. So we try to have dinner together every night that I'm home. And if we can't have dinner together, then we find another way to connect, if it's FaceTime or if it's a walk or something. But really like proud of my marriage, work really hard on my marriage, and like we really try to like make time to show up for each other. I feel like that sounded way more woo-woo than I wanted it to, but like those are the things that they keep me upright, right? They keep me going. And then I guess sleep is the other thing. I used to need a lot of sleep. I used to need like 10 to 12 hours of sleep. Now I
Wow.
don't so much, but I
Yep.
do need more than 7.5 is my lucky number. So
Okay.
sleeping is important. I can cut sleep a couple nights a week, but I catch it up on the weekends. So
Yep.
people see me going crazy, like, and then I guess the last thing is pajama day. I'm technically an introvert, which people find very surprising.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
surprising.
Yep. So when I have done like a back-to-back conference or when I've been with a lot of people, I recover with what I call a pajama day. And that means like I don't get dressed, I don't put in my contacts, I don't talk to anybody, and I just have like a self-care pajama day. And I have at least one a month. Sometimes when things are really bad, I'll have like one a week. But like a
Mm.
pajama day is a really healthy, helpful way for me to stay centered and grounded.
God, that was just rich. So thank you so much. So many good suggestions in there. And, woo woo gets a bad rap. So you sounded great. And there's just so much practical stuff in there.
Well, and I'm not a
And
Buddhist and I'm not Oprah, like, and I don't have a perfect, like, every day is the same. Like, it's
right,
chaotic and it's messy, but like, those are things that, like, when I'm not feeling good, have I been eating like shit? Or like, my husband would be like,
right,
"Go into the garden, go to the freaking garden." Like, you just
right.
need to get unplugged. Like, that is the keyword for unplugged.
Yeah.
I guess the marriage part, just one more. We are really in tune with our love languages and it's been a great hack for us. So if I could just say that, like, and this could be for anybody important in your life, it doesn't have to be a partner, but my love language is acts of service and his love language is quality time. And so like I
Mm,
have to be in a good place, me as a person, that's my job in this marriage. But then like I like it when our marriage when we're in a good place also. So I will like go out of my way to, hey, do you want to go sit on the couch and watch a movie tonight? Because that is his love language.
right,
I want to die
right.
out my eyes and I am like screaming inside through the whole thing. But that will be the deposit that he needs for the next week is that I sacrificed not being on my laptop, not being on my phone and watching a movie or going for a walk or going for a road trip. And then he will do the same. He'll be like, hey, do you need something done at the garden with my big muscles that I could help you with? I'm like,
Come dig,
"Okay,
come dig holes
oh,
for me, please.
um, yep. So I think just like being really aware of like what makes me feel good and what makes me feel connected and better. Yeah. So
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing all of those. And I love that you wrapped it up with the love languages. I think they are so key. If you haven't already, there's a book based on the five love languages or whatever. There's one called The Five Languages of Appreciation in the Workplace. And that's been really transformational in my cleaning company's workplaces as people understanding that and doing that. It's pretty phenomenal. But you've got a good leadership thing going on. It's just another tool in your tool belt if
even animals have love languages, like, and like knowing your own, like, oh, what fills me from
mhm.
yourself, but like, and from others. But then how do you fill others? It's like, it's my favorite
Yeah.
hack, like with
Yeah.
system. So we
Yeah.
ask all of our employees to complete the love language survey on
Oh, you
hire.
do it.
Yeah.
Okay. You do it.
Because it's a hack. Like
It's a hack.
this person needs me to slow down and really praise them very explicitly. Like
Yeah.
this can feel good. I do it with my coaching clients too. Like I need to know their love language so I know how to show up for them.
See, I knew we had so much in common. That's
You,
amazing. I love that.
we're
Yeah.
besties. We did it. And
I
like
know. I know.
cars. I know.
I know, totally, totally connected forever. All right,
Mm.
Meaghan, listen, I really want to respect your time. We usually do this like big wrap up. I'm not going to do a big wrap up today. I just have one more question for you. And that is this life that you have, this badass life, do you feel like you have it more by design or by luck?
Oh, design. I
Yeah.
fight, I fight really hard for this life and it gets out of balance and I fight to get it back in balance. It is, and my coach is trying to get me to use less aggressive language. So when I say fight, I genuinely feel like I have rolled up my sleeves and like stuck out my elbows and like disrupted the norm because we only get one and I only need it to serve me. And everything else like is noise. Everything else is distraction and it's change. it will change. It will continue to change, but like, I feel like it's my job to keep me happy and good. And it's my job to design, love that word, design my life to keep me happy and good. So yeah, I'm going to keep working on it. And yeah, we're going to keep going
Well,
through it and encourage all of you to do that. Don't try to like copy somebody else's happiness or like inherit somebody else's like just what brings you joy?
what
Back to
brings you joy?
what
Yeah.
brings
Well,
you
or
joy?
happiness. What's fun? Like, yes. I
Go
mean, I
do
have like, do more
do
of it. I have a whole practice that I bring some of my clients through. It's like, okay, go spend a week like playing like what was your favorite thing to do when you were like 6 years old? Go do that for the next week. And then it's like just this reconnection to like very basic happiness and joy because it's surprising how many people get away from it. Yeah, and it's different for everyone. So anyway, thank you, Meaghan. This has been an amazing, amazing time. I so appreciate it. That is the show for today, y'all. And if you want to get in touch with Meaghan, all of her contact information will be in the show notes. But Meaghan, tell us really fast because I forgot to ask you earlier. Is it meaghanlikes.com?
Meg Likes Money is my go-to
Perfect.
title, meglikesmoney.com. And Molly, I want to say like you are a bright light in my feed and in my world. And I know that you are just, yeah, thank you for this gift to your listeners. I'm enjoying this show. I'm enjoying listening to this show. I'm enjoying like the motivation of just kind of breaking the norm and challenging us to question like what makes us shine. I love the star in the background. And yeah, I'm just grateful for you coming and brightening up my life. So thank you, Molly, for this.
Thank you. Love Fest. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Live bright, friends. Until next time.
And that's it for today. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Live Bright Show. If you enjoyed this pod, please go to livebrightshow.com to be in the know for new program offerings and podcast releases. Molly has more awesome guests and content coming your way, so you're going to want to be on that list. Also, just because you're still listening, it would be incredible if you could go ahead and subscribe to this podcast and provide the show with a 5-star review. You know how they help. Go forth, have fun, and live bright, friends.